Number 5, you got to meditate. The one that everyone wants to do, but everyone seems to struggle the most with. Let's break down how you can actually start to meditate in such a way. Not only the benefits of it, but how you can actually start to meditate and see the results and the benefits. Final productivity pillars meditation, which in general has been shown to provide a range of scientifically documented benefits, including increased productivity, enhanced creativity, and improved resiliency. Studies have consistently found it to lead to a reduction in stress levels, which can help you boost productivity by increasing focus and concentration. In other words, you're going to get more productive if you meditate. Meditation has also been shown to increase the brain's gray matter, which is associated with better decision-making abilities and problem-solving skills, two hallmarks of a successful entrepreneur. Additionally, meditation has been shown to improve resiliency, which is the ability to bounce back from challenges and adversity. By reducing stress levels, it builds mental and emotional strength, which can be particularly beneficial in high-pressure situations, allowing you to respond to stressors rather than reacting to them. We have a whole training on how to do that. Check that out if you haven't already. In all forms of meditation, the Vedic wisdom texts make it crystal clear that mantra meditation is the most effective in this day and age characterized by fast-paced, hectic lifestyles. Mantras work on the principle that sound carries consciousness. We explored you are what you eat in the diet section, but even deeper is you are what you hear. The information you're taking in through your senses is what creates your mindset, your perspective, your placement of attention. Where attention goes, energy flows, as we like to say. Where attention goes, energy flows. Whatever sound vibrations you allow into your drain pipes settle into the bay of the heart to create your consciousness and therefore your mindset and experience of life. So authentic mantras are Sanskrit sound vibrations, which are actually spiritual in nature. At first glance, mantras may seem like regular sounds, but they are actually transcendental, descending from a higher realm and providing us an access point to connect with that realm within ourselves. In science, there's a principle called excitation, which explains that when you introduce a higher energy to a lower energy object, it elevates the object to the higher state. This principle captures the effect of mantra meditation pretty wholesomely, pretty well. The spiritual energy of the sound vibration is a higher spiritual energy that elevates your consciousness past the limitations of the materially conditioned mind, which, by the way, is where all of your suffering and anxiety are coming from. The word mantra is composed of two Sanskrit roots. Man, like manasa, refers to the mind. Trayate means to deliver, to free. So mantra meditation delivers the mind from material misconceptions, which are the causes of our anxiety. A genuine mantra illuminates our consciousness with spiritual inspiration and nourishment, providing us an access point to connect with our true nature as a spiritual being. How is this a productivity hack? Obviously meditation is there, but why are we talking about mantra meditation? Because it's considered the best of all meditation, and it's one that's just easy to get into. It's not like these other meditation where you sit there and you're just like, I am bored to tears. We want to focus the mind on something that's easy to focus on. Again, sound carries consciousness. What sounds are around is where your consciousness and attention is going to be drawn towards. Therefore, let's bring our consciousness towards attention, bring our consciousness and our attention towards sound vibrations, which are the most catching of the senses, that are going to be uplifting and of spiritual nature. So, what we're looking at here is there's different types of mantras that are mentioned. This is called the Maha Mantra, or the Great Mantra. All the mantras that I mentioned in the ancient yoga literatures, the wisdom literatures, this one's considered to be the Maha Mantra, the panacea mantra for this particular age. What can be achieved with all other benefits of other mantras can be achieved in just this one alone. So you can practice by chanting, and you sit there. And the way it works is you sit there and turn anything with an off switch off around you, lock the door, tell everyone, hey, leave me alone for 5, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it might be, how long you need. Start with 1 minute a day, go to 2, like that. And you sit down and you just chant these mantras out loud, focusing on hearing the sound vibrations and hearing every syllable. It sounds something like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And like that, you focus and you chant and you chant and you chant. At first the mind wanders, but you grab it, you bring it back. wonders. You grab it, you bring it back, and you keep coming back to these basics and focusing on meditating on every little syllable that is there. Nothing little about it. The Vedas state that simply by reciting this mantra, anyone can cleanse the mirror of their consciousness or all of these external material conditions, removing the dust of the misconceptions, negative impressions, bad habits, etc., in order to see the dormant consciousness within that is eternal, blissful, and fully cognizant, aka the self, the soul, the unit of consciousness, etc. A couple of tips to help you actually be able to meditate on a consistent basis and do it properly is use the body properly in the form of posture. Sitting up nice and tall. You'll notice this even if you're talking with someone and they're all slouched. It's not going to it seems very casual. As soon as they sit up really tall, you're like, oh, okay, now it means business. Now we're being, okay, whatever's happening, now it's really happening. And that way you can actually bring the body into a physiological response where you're going to be attentive. From there, focus on the pronunciation. There's a reason the mantras are there. They're there in such a way so that you can actually chant them and get their benefits. So focus on the pronunciation as much as you can. Now, you don't have to pronounce everything perfectly, whatever perfect might even be. Everyone's got an opinion of how exactly to do it. There are fundamentals of Sanskrit that you can learn, but the main thing is the intention, and just try to pronounce to the best of your ability. In the same way as a parent will respond to a child calling out the parent's name, even if they're mispronouncing the name, because the love is there. Instead of saying dad, we say do-da. You're still going to respond. So in the same way, you don't have to overwhelm yourself with learning every aspect of Sanskrit, which is fun. Big fan of studying Sanskrit, but you don't have to go learn that. The main thing is do your best to pronounce the best way you can. We've got a bunch of resources. You can check out our YouTube channel there. You can even just Google Maha Mantra meditation and get a bunch of different meditations to follow along with. Prayer, set a proper mood and intention. And you can even pray like, please help me focus my mind. Please help me focus my mind. Please help me focus my mind. You get into a very prayerful mood as you're going through here. And then also, Sankhya Purvaka Namagan Anati Bi. What we're talking about here is doing something in a consistent basis that you can actually measure. And we call this numerical strength. If you want to get strong by doing push-ups, then don't just do them when you feel like it. Do a certain amount every day that you know is going to provide you a certain result. So, if you do 50 today, 25 another, 0 the next 2 days, etc., you're never going to be consistent. So what we want to do is build up physical strength through consistent exercise. Similarly, we build up internal consistent strength from consistent numbers and count them. Make sure that you're spending a certain amount of time or a certain amount of mantras doing it. Arguably better to count the amount of mantras just because then you can... Some days you might chant slower, some days you might chant quicker, whatever the case may be. So a certain amount of mantras is usually the traditional way of doing it, but you can also count it in the form of time. So in this way, if you set a goal for the number of mantras you want to recite every day and stick with it, you will develop spiritual strength through your consistency. Again, as a monk, I would chant, and I still do, still to this day, I vowed to chant at least 1,728 Maha mantras every single day. It's about, if you take a strand of 108 beads, which is a traditional way of counting. Nowadays you have cool clickers and you don't have to use you can. There's benefits to using the malas, the string of 108 beads, but the main thing is that you just count. If you did 16 times 108, that's the tradition I come from. That's how much we like to chant. But for you, start with 5 mantras a day. Start with 100 mantras a day, 108 mantras a day. And like that, you slowly build your way up as the desire in your heart begins to rise. So the way that mantra meditation is explained from my teachers is like yogurt. When you add a small amount of yogurt to even a large pot of milk, the entire pot transforms into yogurt overnight. Similarly, even adding and maintaining a small amount of mantra meditation into your life will gradually spiritualize your whole life. In other words, help you really focus. In other words, improving and producing higher productivity. This is the greatest key to boosting your productivity as an entrepreneur. If you said, Madhu, what's the most important thing? Do the meditation. You got to do everything. But if I were to say okay, I'm going to do everything, but where to put my focus and really optimize, this is where it is. This is where you put your focus. And also make sure that you're actually there. It's easy just to do it. It's and your mind's not there. And one of the easiest ways to do that is get in groups of others. When you do it yourself, this is called japa because you're using your jaw and your paw together. No, but the idea is you are doing individual mantra meditation, but if you do collective mantra meditation, this is called kirtan. Similarly, on our YouTube page, you can check it out. We've got a bunch of kirtans you can listen to. Go and do mantras with other people. This type of group meditation is always going to have a more positive effect. Do both, but make sure that you're spending regular time going through and doing some mantra meditation as well. So try these on for size. I assure you, if you start small and you gradually build up, you will notice one of the biggest impacts by actually sticking to a meditation on a regular basis. Have fun.